What's up, guys? John, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you, sir?
Good, good. Just got off work, ate some food, and jumped on here. We're ready to go. Um, Good lineup tonight. Ready to talk some Niners. Ready to talk some Super Bowl chat, obviously. You ready to go?
Let's go, baby. Let's get at it.
Let's go. First, we're gonna bring on my buddy here, Ted. How are you tonight, sir?
Very good, sir. I'm laughing at the sir stuff just because I never heard you guys speak to me that way before. But
We're very formal here.
there you go. I like it. But I had to chuckle before I said it. Glad to
not
be here. Thanks for having me, Adam and John. I appreciate it.
I'm not good at intros. I'm just not. Our buddy Jamie is probably the best hype man on this network, and he is so energetic about everything, and it's just
Jamie
awesome.
goes hard with everyone who comes on the show.
Yeah, it's awesome. I would bring him on just to introduce you guys, and then tell him to go. He's our Bills guy, but his hype is unbelievable. So Ted, I know you're ready. You're ready to talk some ball.
Always.
And then we're gonna bring in our next guest, who is very happy to be here, Mr. Wayne. How are you, sir?
You guys are just making me laugh. Yeah, I'm definitely happy to be here, but y'all were making me laugh behind the stage, so that was pretty cool.
Oh man. So we're ready to talk some football. All right, so I had a question that I didn't bring up to any of you guys. Of the last 13 of 21 years, there's been quarterbacks as MVPs. Can we name I only went back to 21 years. If you wanted to go back 23, we can too. But can you name the other people that were not the MVPs as quarterbacks?
Oh, you mean like Adrian Peterson, the running back?
Like MVP as Super Bowls.
Oh, Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Dang.
Make it a little.
Yeah,
we gonna be here all night. Like, look, Ted secretly pulling that shit up. Like, he's pulling it up.
No, you stumped me for sure because
look,
I'm just thinking it's been all QBs recently. No, you got me there for sure.
That's a good one. That's good.
Was Gronk?
Yeah.
Nah.
Go ahead. Let's hear what you got.
I quit. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna Super Bowl
Rams,
MVP.
Bengals. Who was the MVP of that Super Bowl?
Stafford.
No.
Didn't the
Cup?
That's okay.
Cooper Cup.
Obviously, we're going not. We're going not.
quarterback.
So we got Cooper Cup. So we got two wide receivers because Julian Edelman won it. I remember that one.
Yes.
There's a guy, Jerry Rice. Just saying.
Well, no, we're only going back. I'm not going all the way through all.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going all the way back?
Wow, this is
okay.
crazy.
My bad.
Okay. 23 years.
All right,
That's
so
one
we got
I knew. I was like, okay, that's one I got. Okay.
Cooper Cup, Julian Edelman, Von Miller won
Yes.
Super Bowl 50, and I didn't even know defensive players win MVPs.
For the Broncos. That makes sense because their D carried
that defense was
Peyton
crazy.
Manning that year. Right?
Remember Malcolm Smith from the freaking Seahawks?
Yes,
He
sir.
didn't win it.
Yeah, he did win it.
Did he?
Didn't win.
Yeah, Super Bowl.
You think it'd be like Beast Mode or Russ?
um,
And then the Niners signed him the next year, right? Didn't we?
Yeah, right.
and then he tore his pectoral, and he
We're
never
like,
played.
oh, let's get some of that magic going.
Yep, that magic went right to the IR.
Oh,
For nothing.
Santonio Holmes.
Yes, sir.
A lot of wide receivers.
remember that
Hines
one.
Ward.
I just couldn't remember his name, but
Hines Ward did win it.
Hines Ward too. So two Steelers wide
Two
receivers.
Steelers. Deion Branch from New
TD,
England.
Terrell Davis.
Terrell
That's
Davis
right.
did.
Duh.
That's not surprising
Yeah,
because it was
yeah.
like Elway couldn't get it done.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ray Lewis.
And then they got Terrell Davis, and they went back to back, didn't they? With Terrell
Yep.
Davis.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but Elway won it the second time.
Oh, okay.
He
But-
balled out that second game though. He knew.
That's only
he
because
felt that
it was
game.
like
He
his
knew.
fourth trip to the Super Bowl. They're like, we got to get him.
There's still another Patriots wide receiver out there.
Julian Edelman,
He said
No.
Branch. He said Branch.
Branch and Edelman.
Did we?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Edelman?
missed that.
yeah.
My
Edelman
bad.
won it. Yeah, he won what,
Uh,
53?
What about Tampa and Oakland?
Tampa.
Yeah.
Would it be
Hey.
Sapp?
Nope.
It wasn't John Lynch.
No, it wasn't John Lynch.
Who the hell is
Well,
Dexter
who's their
Jackson?
linebacker?
Who is
Derek
Dexter
Brooks?
Jackson?
2
Derek
interceptions
Brooks?
for touchdowns in that game.
Was it the safety Barber?
It was the cornerback, Dexter Jackson.
Rondé Barber.
Oh, it was
Oh.
Rondé. It wasn't
Yeah.
Rondé Barber.
Dexter Jackson.
Dexter Jackson.
Yeah, Dexter
wow.
Jackson.
I don't remember that
Like-
at all.
like
Even
no
now you're
name.
telling me I don't remember that one.
Like no name
Here-
guys
here-
show up in this.
Here's the
Yeah,
one that's gonna make people trip out. Desmond Howard, former Heisman kick returner for the Green Bay Packers.
Michigan though, that's why
Michigan,
Breezy knows it.
baby. He had 244 all-purpose yards in that game with a 99-yard touchdown kickoff return. Damn.
Yes, he did.
And then that Desmond Howard. Go blue. I'm done after that. I'm good. I don't have to say anything after that.
All right.
What do you
So,
think
I
about the talk about the
Fire.
Michigan QB going number 1 overall? What-
Oh,
what
hell no.
Harbaugh was saying.
Harbaugh.
Who?
Now, Harbaugh said that the quarterback from Michigan is going to go number 1. He wouldn't be surprised if he went number 1, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That
it's-
He had a
no.
great, he had a great year, but
8. No, it's not even no call. It's a
I
rating.
feel Caleb Williams should not go number 1 overall.
I don't feel like he should go number 1.
No,
either.
me either. Nope.
He
I
fell
think it
short
would be
every
Michael
year.
Penix Jr. if he went number 1. I wouldn't be surprised, but
JJ
Caleb's
McCarthy. I was
top-
struggling
Caleb's
for his
definitely
name.
top
there.
three, but not number 1. No way.
somebody's
Where-
going number 1. It's like it's a quarterback is going number 1.
I mean,
The
Marvin
question is
Harris
which
would
Not
already
Caleb Williams.
Manning,
it's got to be Caleb Williams, but that's crazy because what do they do with
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields?
Do they trade him to Pittsburgh like the rumor around here is going?
Trust
Whatever
me, up here in New England, everybody's talking about New England.
Whatever the Bears do, it'll be the wrong thing. You can bank on that.
That's
I
crazy.
mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. has already said he does not want to play for the Bears.
Hey,
I
He's
don't-
already
I don't-
born at Eli Manning.
I saw
But anyway-
Urlacher said that if you're still asking if Justin Fields is the guy by now, that he's not the guy. I kind of agree with that, but I also am a big
Not a bad
believer
statement.
that QBs need O-line and weapons, and he only had DJ Moore for 1 year. I don't know. I still think the jury's out on Justin Fields. It's just what's not out on him is he's going to have to get paid soon. And, there's no cheat code like a young QB on a rookie deal who's balling out. Like, just ask the Niners, right? I mean,
Yep.
All right, so I did come up with a little bit of questions. Me and John did. So what was everyone's defensive key matchup?
oh, for me, it's going to be whoever the 49ers. Oh, you talk about the 49ers on defense?
Yeah,
I'm going Gibson on Kelsey. Now, and I know it's going to be tough. I just did my keys to victory for Web Zone, but that's the guy I want to see on Kelsey. And then however they choose to bracket him or double him up or whatever, cool. But they got to find a way to take away Travis Kelsey explosiveness. He's gonna get the ball. He's gonna be the guy to catch the ball. So they got to figure that out. That's the number. That's Patrick Mahomes' number 1 target. Next up is Rashee Rice, but Travis Kelsey, we already know he's a game changer.
make someone
Yeah.
else beat us.
Make someone. I'd
The
rather get
linebackers
beat by a
gonna be
rookie.
are they going to stick any of the linebackers on him?
It depends because you're asking the linebackers also to play. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
Check them.
yeah, you got to play the run. So if it's either gonna be, I wouldn't mind depending on like what type of personnel they put out there. I wouldn't mind if it's Dre Greenlaw being the guy, and if we're in our nickel package, that's cool because now you can bracket him with a Gibson. Now you can that's your double, and I think Greenlaw can keep up with Kelsey. He keeps up with wide receivers, so I wouldn't see him a problem him trying to keep up with Kelsey, but that's a guy you're also taking away from the run game.
That's
Defense.
the one thing that of the we played Laporta, we played Trey McBride, played
Yeah.
Hawkinson. We had no big plays against them, but they ended up with close to 100 yards with a lot of reception.
They did mainly on checkdowns though. So if you go back and watch, I think Trey and missed tackles. So like Trey McBride was a missed coverage. Somebody slipped. I think they had Mooney Ward on him on that particular play. He was able to get the ball and then boom, boom, boom. Whatever. Even with Sam Laporta, even if you go back to Minnesota with the TJ Hawkinson game, like check down. Like, and so there, like I said, that's Patrick Mahomes' number one target. The Niners 9 times out of 10 are going to play off coverage, and they're going to try to keep everything in front. Like I said, if he catches these passes, just find a way to limit him from being explosive, the yards after the catch. So catch it, tackle him. Like that's it. Like hit him.
That's what I was referring to because like Laporta had 13 catches, Hawkinson had 12, McBride had 10, but none of them were big plays. That's what I was more referring to. I just didn't throw out that extra stat there.
Mm-hmm. Got to just but see, when you look at who Travis Kelce is, he's a big play guy. And so he'll catch the little dinky dunks across the middle, whatever. But if the 49ers struggle with missed tackles, right? They had 9 in the last game. So when you look at the 49ers, they can't miss those tackles. Like they can't miss that. They got to make sure. I don't care if he catch 20 passes, keep his behind out of the end zone. If he gets 100 yards off 20 receptions, cool. As long as he's not the one scoring, I'm good. And the Niners can find a way. I feel like they struggle against tight ends, but it's the way that they utilize. It's the way they play their pass defense. It's meant to limit the explosives. So they're not looking to get beat deep by like McCole Hardman and those guys that can burn down the field. They keep everything in front. They just got to make sure they make the tackles.
Ed?
Since you took Kelsey, I'll say someone's got to spy Mahomes.
Interesting, because I feel like we never use the spy, Ted, ever.
Well, then we're gonna get cooked if we try and, Mahomes is gonna run all over us. Then
we didn't even spy Lamar Jackson. I don't think we spy Mahomes. I think we should, but I don't think we do. Is what I'm saying.
We should have spied.
Isn't that crazy?
That, and then my other thing would be like, it's not so much a defense thing as just Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Like I see him as an X factor because his whole career, most of this whole season, drop. Last 2 games, huge catches to salt away the Bills and the Ravens games. And so if he keeps doing that, it could be a tough day for the 49ers.
John, what was your...
No, I mean, I second and third everything that was said. I mean, Kelsey, I'd rather anyone else beat us but him. A spy on Mahomes and needs to be happening. I think it's one thing we didn't do against Jackson, and he ran all over us. So I think it's just it's going to be a real good defensive output. I think a scheme and a preparation where you need to be able to keep everything in front of you, like you said, but also making sure what is in front of us, whether it's Mahomes or Kelsey in the dink and dunk, and also getting his yard after catch. We got to limit that because they'll go to Kelsey all day. He'll get the 4, 5, 6 yards. He's always getting that first down, the third and shorts, and it's just got to limit it.
Offense, I'll go first. Ayuk versus Snead. This is Ayuk has to burn him. That is my.
It's a great matchup. I love Ayuk. Right? I love it. It's a great matchup. Great matchup. It's it's Tyson Holyfield. It's whatever you need. It's that matchup, right? It's the physicality of what we like. You got a good press man, cornerback, and Snead, and then you got this physical wide receiver. Get out my face! I could route you up. I could get open. And so I think I it's great as those cornerbacks are from Kansas City, McDuffie and Snead, like they're probably the best cornerbacks, honestly, in this game. Not trying to take a stray at our guys, but these guys ain't give up no touchdowns. So when I look at that, I say to myself, all right, these dudes are for real. They've been playing together. They got the young guy in there, and McDuffie. He can line up inside, outside. He's their Diamador Lenore. But that matchup is going to be something serious. If I had to go to matchup, though, I'm going to go in the trenches, and I'm going to say whoever is lined up on Chris Jones, I can't wait to see it. Now, look, I like the way the Niners defend Aaron Donald, no matter whether he lines up inside or outside. I'm expecting Kansas City to use Chris Jones in the exact same way. And if the Niners are able to kind of like neutralize Aaron Donald, I think they could find a way to take out Chris Jones. My thing is, I can't wait to see what McKivitz, and personally, I would start John Feliciano in this game just to make the right side better. And then let Aaron Banks do what he does, even though he's been struggling lately. And the left side sold up with Trent. So that's what I would do.
That's
So
what I would do.
whoever's on that
Whoever's on that right
lined up
side,
against Chris Jones, that's the way I can't wait to see what that's gonna look like.
That's a good call.
Yeah, I definitely like Feliciano. I asked for him in my preview article before the Green Bay Packers. I said, please play Feliciano. Please don't play Burford. I think Burford has a bright future. He's young. I think he'll develop. But until then, now's not the time for development anymore. Once it's playoffs, once it's one and done, 1 game seasons, if you will. I think Ayuk is a great route runner. I don't think he'll be as snuffed out as some receivers are versus Snead. But I'm going to look at the other side and say, like, Debo against Jalen Watson. I think that's a big one for us. Because, my understanding is that McDuffie usually plays nickel. And so he'll probably be on whoever's in our slot more than whoever's at the X and Y. But I guess we'll see on that. And then McKivitz against, I guess, Karlaftis. I think them missing Omenihu is really big. He was their pressure leader per pass rush. He had the highest pressure percentage of any Chiefs D lineman. So, and we all know how good he was for us. We definitely missed him this year. So the Chiefs will definitely be missing him since he just went out in the last game. And then, I think the Chiefs linebackers can be had in the passing game. So I think Kittle will do well and CMC over the middle. Tranquil is real good in coverage, but Willie Gay and Nick Bolton are not particularly good in coverage. So I think we can, Kyle loves to attack the linebackers, even when they're really good. You line up in 21 personnel, you get a linebacker on one of those backs and you stick him in the slot, and the linebacker all of a sudden is out there in space with no friendlies around, and it's a huge advantage for either CMC or Juice Check. So yeah, I like all those for our offense. Plus, just run the ball to CMC a lot, hopefully.
We didn't even talk about CMC. No one even wanted to see that matchup. All I know is Pete breaks free. No one's stopping him. No one's stopping that guy.
No, he's gonna get his. He's gonna get his Sunday. I'm telling you, CMC's gonna eat.
From the Chiefs creators I've talked to, and I've talked to like 6 or 7 now. The general theme is that Spags is a lot like Belichick, where he's like, all right, I'm gonna take away what you like to do best, and like we were talking about with Kelsey, make someone else beat him. So you can bet that they're going to do everything they can to take away CMC to start the game. So we'll see. That could open things up huge for Purdy with deep passes if everybody's stuck in the box. So
Anyone feel, John, what was your key to offense real quick?
No, same thing, man. With Feliciano, and I just think like Kittle. I think Kittle's gonna have a really good game, man. I think him getting into the second level, him getting over, getting in and just getting his yards up to catch what he's done all year. CMC to that point, I think they're going to a lot of play action stuff, him coming out of the backfield, lining up or just lining up pre-snap, going out to the wide receiver section, just getting some stuff and just running because he's so explosive when he gets into the open field. So I think that's some really, really unique stuff coming for Kansas City. So I'm excited.
Nice. All right. So breaking down, is anyone worried that the Chiefs ran a 4-line front against the Ravens and managed to keep them to 56 yards, I think, in that second half? Does that concern anyone?
I
Doesn't
think it,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead, Breezy.
I was
You
gonna
go
say
first.
I feel-
it doesn't
Go ahead, go
concern
ahead.
me at all. I think the Ravens didn't stick to what they knew best. They weren't even trying to run the ball. They said Lamar Jackson go out there win this game, and they didn't. They probably specifically told him don't win it on your feet. I don't know. Whatever Ravens team we saw in that particular game offensively wasn't the Ravens team we watched all season long, and it's not what the Chiefs did. It was what the Ravens weren't doing, and so. And the reason why I said that is because I mean, at some point, the Ravens' offense did start clicking, and unfortunately, you get a drop, you get an interception in the end zone, you fumble in the end zone. I mean, like you can't win those type of games. But the defense held the Chiefs to 17 points, and so and then held them scoreless in the second half. So I don't really think the Kansas City defense, even though it's a great defense, like I'm not trying to take anything away from their defense, they haven't played a high powered multifaceted type of offense that can beat you in like several different ways. And I think that's gonna keep Spag's mind spinning. Like, all right, how do I stop this? What do I got to do with this? Oh my gosh. And so that's the key. It's not the 2019 San Francisco 49ers offense when you had a rookie in Deebo Samuel. You didn't really utilize him. Even though you were using him right, you just stopped. And then you were trying to force the ball to Kittle. Then you were trying to force the ball to whatever you didn't have. Raheem Mostert is not Christian McCaffrey. He's fast, good running back, but he's not Christian. And I mean, by the way, you can line them up, you can split them out, you can empty the backfield. There's so many things you could do now. And I think as great as Steve Spags is, he's gonna have, his defense is probably gonna have a tough time with what Kyle Shanahan's gonna probably try to do on the offense. So, hey man, they can drop as many back as they want. I think the 49, they better not. They better try to stack the box and let Brock Purdy, do what he does. Because I just can't wait to see what happens. I don't know what they're gonna do, but that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to stop the run. They're gonna take away Christian McCaffrey, and they're not gonna be able to do it with 4 people in the box, like a 4-man front. They're just not.
No, I think the line will definitely handle 4-man and open up many holes. Go ahead, Ted.
I mean, I think if you take away CMC, then I think it opens things up for Debo. I think we'll see a lot of both of them. I think, and not just in the passing game, but obviously Debo with jet sweeps, Debo in the backfield, Debo getting traditional running back, wide back type of carries. So yeah, I think there's a lot of room for whoever is out there besides CMC. I mean, I think CMC will get a lot of carries at first, and then depending on the success of those, I think we'll see a lot of other options. Just don't give it to Jennings to run the ball. That's all I ask.
John?
No, I second that. Like, watching that Ravens game, it was like they totally got away from whatever they were doing. It was like a totally different team watching what they were doing that night. It was wild. It's like they had a totally different game plan going into that, which they shouldn't have done. Same thing, CMC. It's going to go off of what he does early. If he's feeding, he's getting the yards, he's getting what he needs to do. Then they're just going to keep going to that and feeding off of the play action. And obviously, if they're stuffing that, then obviously it's going to open it up for Ayuk, for Debo, for Kittle, and those guys. So I feel like Shanahan and those guys are going to just be like kind of being like very reactive, knee jerk to like what happens in that first quarter after those first 15, 20 plays, going off of that, and then seeing what works best.
One thing I was going to add about the Ravens in the second half too, like Breezy said, interception in the end zone, the fumble just before the end zone that ended up being a touchback. Got to credit Chiefs D on that, though. That was Snead who punched it out, but still unfortunate for the Ravens. And the other one was, there was a lot of controversy over the Zay Flowers non-PI, uncalled PI, and so that's another thing. Now, who's the master at not calling DPI calls? It's Bill Vinovich.
Bill.
You know, he did it famously. Probably one of the most famous ever. You know, where the Rams had the famous DPI against the Saints, and then ended up going to the Super Bowl because of a Bill Vinovich crew non-call, maybe the worst DPI non-call ever. And then another one too is, you know, we talked a lot about the Ravens maybe being our opponent in the Super Bowl, right? A lot of people for a while thought it was going to be us and them. And I was saying I don't really sweat the Ravens despite us losing to them Christmas Day, because 3 of Brock's interceptions were off tip balls. And 96% or more of tip balls typically hit the ground harmlessly. And somehow we had 3 intercepted. That's a fluky, unusual thing. You wouldn't expect that to happen again. And also, additionally, one of those tip balls was an uncalled DPI where the DB came right through Kittle's back to tip it. And again, that was Bill Vinovich and his crew officiating that Raven. And I think there were some other dubious calls and non-calls in that game as well, too. So not to put on the tinfoil hat conspiracy theory thing, but, you know, if it happens again, you know, you just kind of got to say he does not like the 49ers.
John, it was your question you came up with. More to gain, Pat or Brock?
At this point, I mean, right now it's got to be Brock. I mean, Purdy's in a position where, I mean, if you watch national media, anytime you turn on your television, it's to a point where I feel like if Brock could walk on water, I feel like they're going to say it's because he can't swim. It's the narrative is ridiculous. Everything is being brought out against this guy. Like, it's just, I just don't understand it. Coming from Mr. Irrelevant, obviously being the last pick, and then leading a team to a Super Bowl. I just don't understand where the respect, when it comes, I guess maybe from a Super Bowl win. I mean, I don't know if it has to be decisive, if it's not close. But just, I think Brock has a lot more to gain out of this. I mean, Mahomes has a great team. I mean, I don't know what Andy Reid's doing, if he's staying or if he's going to go. That team is loaded. They're going to be good for the next 5 to 10 years, draft wise. I'm sure they can bring people in. But Brock has a lot as far as proving himself and just kind of shaking off all of this. You know, can he do it? Can he do it? Game manager, all this other stuff. I just feel like this Super Bowl win solidifies himself as a quarterback in the NFL. Who's a caliber guy who can go to a Super Bowl, lead his team to a championship. I just feel like Brock Purdy is definitely the guy who has more to gain here.
Did you?
Yeah, it's Brock. You know, when you're the last pick in the draft and you're with the team that's now playing in the Super Bowl, I mean, I'm not gonna say that the pressure is on him, but the pressure is on him from the national media. Like Brock, you know, if he wants to be talked about, he's gonna have to find a way to make sure he finds a way to win this game, and this is that and the third. And I can tell you right now, like Brock can throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and they'll still find a way to give the MVP to a different player on the 49ers. I just don't think the NFL is ready to unleash the Brock story. And for Brock, it's unfortunate. He just has to keep going out there doing what he does and being who he is. And I mean, as a 49er creator, it's our job to make sure that if they're not going to put Brock on the pedestal, we'll put Brock on the pedestal. And so, like, Brock just has to continue to go out there and do it, but he definitely has more to gain. And for him, no one's talking about he's playing for a contract. And I know next year is his last year on the books. But if he can go out there and solidify himself a mother freaking a Super Bowl, man, Brock might be solidifying himself an extension with the San Francisco 49ers. And now we're talking Brock being the franchise guy. So it's a lot more to gain other than just the Super Bowl. This can solidify his career right here in San Francisco.
So 1 Brock, 2 Brock, 3 Brock. I'll stick with the theme. I mean, what he has to gain is, I mean, this is going to sound extreme, but a chance to go back to another Super Bowl, because has any first-time quarterback that lost ever been back? I don't think so, or not for a long time anyway. And all those things, I get it. they can't be done until they are done. And Brock's already proved, a lot of things that where people said, oh, Mr. Irrelevant will never start in the NFL. And well, he did that. And I said he'll never throw the deep ball well. He did it this season. I didn't say he'll never have long runs, but I said he didn't have long runs in 2022. Now he's peeling off long runs. So, from somebody who was labeled as one of his big haters during the offseason, and honestly, I wasn't. I liked him and Lance both. I just liked Lance better. Clearly, I was wrong, but yeah, clearly he has more to gain. Mahomes already has 2 rings, so no matter what, he's already cemented that legacy. No one's gonna doubt that he's the best quarterback in the NFL, whether he wins or loses this game. That's safe for now, in my opinion.
I'm going Brock as well. A lot more to gain. Breeze, you touched on one of the topics I was getting to. Would you go after the contract now if after Sunday, if they win, do you try and knock that out of the way, or do you let it go another year and see what happens?
Yeah, that's not really like the Niners.
Well, you
It's not-
can't.
Yeah, they
We
can't.
cannot pay him until after the
Until
2024
his contract.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they can talk about an extension.
Yeah.
But they, and I'm sure there's going to be talks, but they can't do anything contractually until his contract is expired.
I mean, obviously, we're talking about it right now, so this is going to be a topic on
Absolutely.
show.
But
I mean,
like I said, Brock goes out there, wins the Super Bowl. 49ers ain't had a quarterback to win a Super Bowl since Steve Young. That motherfucker is getting a contract. Like, he knows that. Now he just has to go out there, and he's gonna get paid. So he's gonna have to go out there and do it again next year, right? Like, not win the Super Bowl, but go out there and continue to progress, to just build, capital for his contract. Like, and that's what he has to do. He has to stay healthy. There's a bunch of things Brock has to do, because the Niners have the health clause. They have there's so many factors that they can use to kind of like take some money off the contract. Like, yeah, we want to give you this, but you had a UCL injury, and you had a rib injury, and we can't pay you and have you missing these games. Now listen, I know it's football, players gonna get injured, but that's what they talk about in them contract negotiations. Injuries pop up. And it's got to be great for the team and great for the player. Luckily, Brock is with the best organization in the world, and they definitely like to take care of their own, especially the ones that they draft. They really like to take care of their own. And just like Fred Warner, I'm not saying because he was 3rd round pick, but just like Fred Warner wasn't drafted high, they made sure that they took care of Fred Warner when it came down to his contract negotiations, as well as George Kittle, who was a 5th round draft pick. So they take care of their own, and I think they'll do the same thing when it comes time for Brock Purdy.
Does Mr. Irrelevant tag disappear if he wins, or do you think he wants to keep that to keep the motivation?
Doesn't matter what he wants. He's going to be that forever. That's his tag. That's his thing. I mean, people will say the movie will be Mr. Relevant. That's what they'll call it. But the name, the title, it'll be with him forever. Just like they talked about Brady being a 6th round pick forever. It never changed.
That's
yeah, but they
kind of changed. Brady rode that the whole way. Like, it's the same thing. He's always going to have it forever, no matter what he does. He can win 8 of them, but he's always going to be that guy who, remember when he was picked last when he was drafted. So it's just something.
But they spun it in a positive way, right? Like, you can be the last pick and be famous like Tom Brady, or be great. And I think that's the storyline Brock Purdy would end up going into, but he's going to have to just ride the last pick until, his career's over. Same thing with Kurt Warner. You just got to ride it.
Yeah.
Bagging groceries, that one. See, we're still on that one, even after he's retired, right? I mean,
yeah.
Yep.
Now he's sitting in Canton, right?
That's right.
Looking back, guys, what were your favorite Super Bowl moments? Like, through all the years you've been around, like things that you remember. Anything really stand out?
I mean, from where I am up here in New England, I mean, watching the Pats come all the way back against the Falcons was a pretty good moment from what I saw. I mean, that was pretty wild. I had a house full of Pats fans around me, so I mean, it sucked from the get go. But I mean, other than that, it was a good game to watch and see them come all the way back. And that was a pretty cool moment. The Edelman catch and then go all the way down and win that game. That was pretty good. That was a pretty good game.
I mean, I go back to the 94 season, that Super Bowl 1995 against the San Diego Chargers, and
Blowout.
the Niners just, I mean, they came out on fire. Like, and the Chargers had what Junior Seau was on that team. They had a defense. I don't give a fuck what nobody said. They had a good defense. Good defense. And
Do you
it's
think it would have
ironic.
been a better matchup? Ricky, real quick, do you think that would have been a better matchup if the Steelers would have stopped Tony Martin on that final play?
Possibly. Unfortunately, we'll never know.
Never. Right. That would
But
have been the NFL's dream to have the Niners and Steelers.
in the Steelers, yep. And but like I said, man, look, the Niners came out. Steve Young came out on fire, and there was a story going around where like you know, I think Mike Shanahan was the OC. He was sitting there saying stuff to Steve Young. They was gonna try to get him like 8 touchdowns in that game, bro. Like
They
8.
should have.
He could have, but they took him out because we were blowing him out. Like when you think of stuff like that, like that's how dominant they were. Confident in the defense, and the offense was dominant. And I feel like this offense has the ability to be dominant like that. And so I don't want this offense to come out and play conservative and scared in this particular matchup. I mean,
I don't
come
think
out
they would.
there with a vengeance and go out there and just do what they've been doing all season. Like they almost average 30 points a game. So go out there and put up 30 Purdy. Like, why not?
There you go. Steelers might have been a better game, but nobody was beating the Niners that year. That was the time where whoever won the NFC Championship, you might as well just give them the ring between the Cowboys and Niners. That 4-year period, they were so heads and tails better than any other two teams in the NFL, NFC or AFC. No offense, but it probably would have been better. But I don't think there's any way the Steelers would have beat
I
the
think it
Niners.
still would have been a blowout. I think the Niners still would have blown them out.
Yeah.
That's my-
So for me, my favorite Super Bowl memory. I mean, see, I'm old enough to remember the first ring, so that it's got to be that sort of. But overall, that's it. But the favorite play was not the first Super Bowl; it was the second Super Bowl. Not overall, but the second against the Bengals, the John Taylor touchdown catch after he hadn't had a catch the whole game. That great drive that Joe Montana put together, with time coming off the clock. It just iced his legacy of being, I think, the most clutch quarterback ever. And so that's it for me. The JT TD against the Bengals I guess it was our third Super Bowl, second versus the Bengals.
I'm gonna go with the one that won me like $500, the Santonio Holmes catch in the corner of the end zone.
There you go.
I was in Vegas and we were out there to see 311 and the odds just came out and I was like, I'll just throw $20 on the Steelers, whatever. And it was 25-1, and then I was like, man, if they really win this, do I have to go back to Vegas and claim this? You can send in a photocopy of your receipt and they'll send you the check.
That's cool.
So I learned that. So so I was happy I didn't have to go back to Vegas to get $500.
That was toe drag swag before they started calling it that, right?
What was the thing? Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a hell of a catch.
that was incredible.
So I know you guys are cutting for time. We said about 10 o'clock. Let's go around real quick. Are they going to Disneyland or Disney World? Because we're close to Disneyland.
It's always Disneyland, or that's what they say.
Do they say Disney? I thought they said
I
Disney.
think it's
World.
Disney World.
Yeah, I'm
think
going to Disney World. I don't know what y'all get on the West Coast, but it's Orlando.
But are they going to go to Disneyland or are they going to go to Disney World?
They go
Closer
to
to go
Disney
to
World.
Disneyland, obviously.
Yeah, it's Disney World. That's the greatest.
I honestly
thing.
haven't watched since ours.
Out of
but I
all the
remember
guys, I can just
Patrick
see Kittle- I can
Mahomes
just see
saying,
Kittle
"I'm going to
Kittle out there
Disneyland."
just like
He
arms
probably
outstretched.
messed
Going to
up
Disney
'cause-
World.
Did Mahomes say Disneyland or Disney? Maybe like you said, maybe on the West Coast they say Disneyland, and maybe on the East Coast
Well,
I
I'm
can't
just
imagine
curious,
it's a different feed though.
Are they gonna
That's
which
world,
amusement
baby.
park do they go to? The one in California or the one in Florida?
It's the one in Florida always.
Disney
'cause-
Always
World.
World.
Okay.
I don't know.
Being that close though.
I feel like I
Somebody-
haven't heard it in a long time. Like I don't hear it anymore. But back in the day when we used to watch football and we used to watch Super Bowls, it would be, what are you gonna do next? I'm going to Disney World, and when you wish upon a star, it would start
Yup.
playing like that. I don't know if they do that anymore, but that's what it used to be. So it might be Disneyland now. It could be.
No. It would. I mean, it would have been Disneyland before and Disney World now because back in the day there was no Disney World too, right? So
No, Disney World was the originator. Disney
no.
World is
Disneyland's been around since the 50s.
California came second.
which one
What?
is in Florida? That's the
It's
original.
always been where you going. I'm going to Disney World. Always.
Yeah, but what's the
As far
one
as
in
I
Florida?
remember. I mean, I'm a little
Disney.
younger, but I mean, I can always remember Disney
Yeah,
World.
world is bigger than land.
Yeah.
No, but Disneyland is way before Disney
No,
World,
bro,
with
nah.
Epcot Center and all that stuff. That was newer.
Some of the stuff that they built in the Magic Kingdom is
Okay.
newer,
Here,
but Disney
I'm
World
gonna help
was
you
the
guys
original.
out. Disney
Yeah.
World.
I'm
It's
going to
Walt
Disney
was-
World. There's a thing.
Walt was
Yeah.
from Florida. I think what 1934.
Disney
No.
World been around since Walt Disney.
No,
I mean-
1971.
Is the
Disney
71?
71. Walt Disney World, 71.
I feel like Disney World was more of like an attraction, or that Disneyland wasn't. But I feel like Disney World was like
I
the
didn't-
place
I didn't
to
know
I'm
go.
telling you, they always said, I'm going to Disneyland.
Disney World.
But I guess it was after that. All right. So, yeah, Disneyland, 1955.
That's what Mark Graves just
26
said. I
years
don't-
older.
I'm not sure
I knew
who's that.
Disneyland was first.
That is, but Mark Graves just
So
said.
so
Disney.
maybe earlier they said Disneyland and later
No,
they started saying Disney
Maybe.
World.
I mean, whatever.
All right.
They don't do it anymore now. They just give away a Chevy Tahoe now.
Bingo.
To the
I knew
MVP,
I
that's
haven't
it.
heard it. I knew I
That's
haven't
it
heard
now.
And then, like you said, maybe on the different coasts, maybe they dub it in different too. Because there's no, I mean, I'm not going to say no one from California goes to Disney World because they do, but like, you know, most people in the Bay Area or LA are going to go to Disneyland, right?
I'm really hoping one of them says it now this year. Now I'm hoping I'll be watching for it. I really hope someone says it now.
Well, but yeah. I want to pull the clip of Mahomes. I could swear after, I don't remember, honestly. Maybe
Last
just
time I
heard
can remember
his
any
name.
of that is like Brady and Edelman. They were there by themselves, like they were on like one near Epcot. Like I don't know.
I mean, I remember saying that I thought Damian Williams should be the MVP, but nobody wanted to hear him say, I'm going to Disneyland. So maybe I just put that in my head. That that's what they were saying. You know, I thought Damian Williams or Chris Jones should have been the MVP of that Super Bowl 54, not Mahomes. Mahomes was great at the end, but the first 3 quarters, he was a little dicey till Vinovich got in there and helped them, facilitated them getting back into the game.
So,
I always
so
thought
speaking of
Disney
that, as
was
far as MVPs and stuff like that, let me throw a question out there before everyone gets out of here. Predictions: Who's the MVP of the game?
For me, it's probably going to be Christian McCaffrey.
Boom.
Second that.
I'm the only one going with Brandon Ayuk.
That's dope. Hey,
I
I
like
could
that.
get-
Oh,
listen,
he ain't
man,
gonna go off, baby.
Yeah, listen. Let
He's
him
trying to
do
get
it.
paid.
I mean, if
Listen.
it's not CMC, it's Purdy.
It's
That's-
Purdy. Yeah.
yeah.
Unless
Debo
Unless-
goes off or something.
unless Nick Bosa get like 7 sacks.
So
a
So Bosa
pick-
plays like he did at the end of the Lions game because
Right.
he was kind of like his old self there for a minute,
Right.
like what
So-
we haven't seen all season.
He
of
wasn't even
Bosa.
celebrating when he got his sacks either. He got up, got back to the line. He's
Got
like,
back
"Let's
to the
go."
line.
He was hungry. He was hungry.
And the reason why I said that is because let's take a look at what my man Von Miller did. Von Miller, 6 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and a pass defended. So if Nick Bosa gets 3 sacks and 7 tackles, he's gonna be in the and they win. He's gonna be one of the
In that
candidates for MVP.
Let's go.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, the Chiefs tackles are no bueno.
Oh man, Jawan
Donovan
Taylor
Smith.
and Smith.
Donovan Smith led the league in holds in 2022.
Yep.
And in 2023, Jawan Taylor, I don't think it was holds, but led the league in penalties.
Yeah.
Let's hope they call him.
And here's an interesting thing. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Jawan Taylor's grandmama passed away in the
Oh,
last couple
no.
days. And like that's one of those things you just don't know how that's going to be. It could be a nothing burger. It could fire him up, or he could be like my Browns co-host from today, Mike. We do Faithful Dogs together. He was saying like, someone Melissa said that Myles Garrett just won DPOY.
I
on
saw
the
that. I was
show.
gonna bring that up. I don't know
It-
what you guys feel about that.
And well, what my guy was telling me, he's a Browns fan. He was saying that after Myles Garrett's uncle died around Christmas, like he wasn't really the same the rest of the season. And I don't know if grandma's the same or whatever. And everybody's different. You never know. But bottom line is those two guys have gotten a ton of penalties. They're not, the Chiefs' strength has always been their interior offensive line. And it's been Tooney, it's been Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And now Tooney is looking like a long shot to play too. So now you got,
he hasn't even practiced.
you got two suspect tackles. Yeah, they said long shot. Like, I mean, they're just trying to keep hope. But so you got two suspect tackles, and now Allegretti has played well as a left guard. But this is the way it is with backups. Like they come in, they play well, one game, maybe two. I don't know, but it would only have to be 2 games in this case. But like over time, it's they show why they're backups usually, and so hopefully this is enough time for Allegretti to show why he's not a starter. I don't know. We'll see.
Wow, Stefanski just won Coach of the Year. We talked about the Browns. You talked them up.
Oh, he
Garrett,
got
DPOY,
Stefanski,
Coach.
D'Amico
4
Ryan.
quarterbacks they had, including Flacco.
Yeah.
PJ Walker. He beat us with PJ freaking Walker.
Yeah. God bless him, man.
I thought it should have been D'Amico Ryan.
D'Amico Ryans missed it by 2 votes. It was 21-20. Missed it by.
I was pulling for Ryans, man.
He deserved it. Rookie coach
Yeah.
with a rookie QB, and he wins a playoff game against the Browns. Like, come on.
It's kind of wild that
That's
Shanahan was
right
actually
there.
nominated. I was like, okay.
How bad do you guys think the Browns wanted Watson versus Houston in that playoff? Imagine that conversation for the week again.
Yeah, that would have been wild.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
so I Bosa's not crazy. I could see that. I could also see Fred. He has like some interceptions, and
that's what I'm saying. Like that.
Yeah, he's all over the place, so he could definitely be in the conversation. Absolutely.
Yeah. If the score is like tight, you know what I'm saying, and then like somebody on the defense makes a big play and plays really good, because Fred might have like 12 tackles in this game. Like I just feel like Fred's gonna go off.
Yeah, no, I agree.
He's gonna go off. So
talking about tight scores and stuff like that. Final score predictions.
you want to go first, Ted?
sure. I mean, I've been all over the show with it. Started out 24-21. I decided I don't want to count on Moody for that field goal, so I dropped it 21-17. Then after talking to some Chiefs folks, that they think it might be a little higher scoring, race to 30. I didn't get to 30, but I said 28 Niners, 24 Chiefs.
Yeah, it's the same for me. 28-24 Niners.
I think the Niners are just going to win this game. I think they're just going to come out and be dominant. I think this is a vengeance.
Are you calling a blowout? Are you calling it close?
I'm calling 35-17.
Wow.
Okay. Oh,
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
All right.
Love it. Nothing would make me happier.
I'm with that. I thought it was gonna be way, way closer than that, but I mean, they get going. CMC gets going. I feel like that offense. Purdy gets confident. Everyone else gets confident. They roll with it. So let's hope for it.
It's just funny because everybody wants to call Purdy the game manager, but really it's Mahomes who's been the game manager most recently.
I'm so sick of the game manager stuff. The Cam Newton stuff is just so guys people on my Twitter are just it's ridiculous, man. The Cam Newton stuff just kills me.
I do like how Kyle responded to the game manager, and when you look at that, it was like pretty spot on. You know, you have quarterbacks that have to come in here and execute the game plan. If they're executing the game plan, they have to manage the game, right? And so, like, they have to make sure that they're the ones making sure that everybody's going to get the ball when when they need to get the ball. And so, like, that's what Brock does. But the difference that separates Brock from other quarterbacks is his ability to make plays. That's what makes Patrick Mahomes great. Like, people keep thinking Patrick Mahomes is a great pocket passing quarterback. That man don't stay in the pocket. He's looking to get out the pocket. He's looking to extend the play. He's looking to direct a guy to move this way. That's what makes him great. And so we just gotta let if Kyle Shanahan continues to let Brock be Brock, man, this game, it might not be close. It might not be close. You might be right. It may not be close, but we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what the Chiefs defense looks to do to stop Brock. All I want them to do is bring it on. Bring on the pressure. I can't wait to see what it looks like.
You gotta let Brock cook. Let him cook, baby.
Let him beat Brock.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Wayne, hopefully we get some footage of you actually in the building, like waited
Yeah.
till they scalped it really low and you're like, fuck it, I'm going in.
Hey man, as soon as them tickets drop like 2/3 of the price, I'm on the app. I'm clicking and I'm in there, baby. Second half, Breezy will be in the building some
Let's
way.
go,
somehow.
baby.
Nice. I think Pacheco stopping Pacheco is a huge key too, just because
Huge key.
because the
Huge.
Chiefs O-line is not the Lions O-line. Let's be clear. I think even the Packers O-line overall might be better, just because I always say the chain is only as strong as its weakest link. But
You just got to wrap and tackle,
the
Ted.
advantage they have though is Mahomes isn't Goff or Love. Obviously, he's got that deep threat ability, which keeps the safety back, and the running ability that makes somebody spy him, or else he's going to hurt you. So Pacheco, stopping CMC is going to be tough, but so is stopping Pacheco.
Yeah, the main thing for me for the Niners defensively, they have to wrap and tackle. Like just throwing the body at somebody. You can't throw your body at Pacheco. He's a big, mean machine. So they're gonna have to make sure they get the arms around. First guy gets to him. The rest of the team needs to swarm to him and bring him down. Limit his explosive runs. Limit those tosses, them little cheap tosses to the outside that Patrick Mahomes likes to do for him. And nobody's talking about Jet McKinnon coming back from the IR. That can be a little X factor for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Niners are going to have to prepare for him out of the backfield as well as Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So it's going to be, they got to stop the run, period.
Jet hurt us in 2022 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Jet, McCole Hardman, and McCole Hardman seems to be on the outs, and so does Kadarius Toney, but Sky Moore's coming off the IR too.
He's coming off the IR too. Good job. That's right.
Got a lot of dangerous young wide receivers. All right. Well, Wayne, I was trying to lead into the closing out phase of I know you're going to the game maybe, and I was going to try and lead into how people can follow you and follow your journey in the Vegas.
Sure, man. Just at the Wayne Breezy on all social medias. I appreciate you for having me on, talking Niners football, talking Super Bowl talk. That icebreaker at the beginning of the show. That was one for the ages. Go back and watch that because we were stumped.
None of us knew. I was like, what? Really?
We were like, huh? So that was perfect, man. But thanks for having me on. I appreciate you guys, man. And hopefully we'll be back celebrating the 6th Lombardi, man. Time to take 6, baby.
Digging for 6. And
let's go, baby.
Thank you, Breezy, for coming on. Hopefully we can catch up maybe next week, or I'm sure if they do pull this off, you're going to be booked all week on your own show and ready to
Ted,
go.
when is the parade? Tuesday or Wednesday?
I don't know. That's what I was thinking. Tuesday or Wednesday.
Dang. So I got to figure it out.
Hey,
but,
are you going to go over to?
Yeah, I will leave Vegas and fly right to California. That's the plan.
I'm going to live vicariously through you guys, man. I'm on the East Coast, man. Damn it. Man.
I'm with you. Bro, I'm in Connecticut. My flight is out of Bradley on tomorrow morning. Right. I'm flying out of Bradley.
We're gonna talk more next season.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're gonna talk more seriously.
I thought you knew that Breezy was.
I did not. We're gonna talk more, man. Like
I didn't know Connecticut, so I thought you were closer to Atlanta.
Bro,
that's just Peachy.
Dude, he's right under me.
Peachy's in Tennessee.
Tennessee. Jeez, I got all there, baby.
Oh, you're in Mass?
Yeah.
Shoot, I got a show in Springfield in a couple of weeks after this. Man, I'm all over, but I'm Connecticut.
I run a restaurant at the MGM Grand in Springfield.
Bro, I think I'm gigging there. That's so funny.
We gotta talk.
We'll talk. We'll talk. This is so funny. All right, guys, let me dip up out of here, man. I appreciate you.
All right, Breezy.
Good looks, man. Thank you.
Peace. Pictures, buddy.
All right.
Ted, how people get a hold of you, buddy.
It's all right there at TedH6 on Twitter and X, TED Talks Ball on YouTube. Actually, at TedH6 works on YouTube as well. I just reactivated my TikTok. It's just TED Talks Ball, all one word. So check me out there too. I'll be getting content up there in the next few days. New content. I have some old stuff up there.
On TikTok?
TikTok?
I didn't know. I thought StreamYard only went to Instagram.
Yeah, no, I'm not streaming to TikTok. You stream and then there's, I guess, I'm also checking out some services to cut long form into shorts and then upload the shorts to YouTube and TikTok.
I'll definitely be sharing that in our Mind Talk. That way I can watch them and try to figure out how to do this.
Yeah,
Maybe,
absolutely.
Maybe you can show me one night.
Yeah, it's time consuming otherwise, scrolling through an hour and a half show. So,
Ted, always great catching up with you. I know we talk through text a lot because of our time schedules, but I thank you for coming on. Always good stuff. I know we had a lot of guests, but they looked to be more on your channel than, because I didn't recognize some of the names. I know you might have. To our guests watching the show, I thank everyone out there. I know Melissa was out there. I was going to talk about that Myles Garrett Defense Player of the Year, but we were caught up in conversation, and then you beat me to it.
well, thanks. Yeah, thanks everybody who came through. Appreciate you. Sorry that it wasn't more interactive, but I was paying attention to the panel here. So, and getting stumped by Adam's question at the beginning. And great to meet you, John.
Likewise, Ted. Thank you so much.
Sure.
And well, John? Oh, go ahead, Ted.
Yeah, I'll just say peace and go Niners, beat them Chiefs.
Let's go, baby.
Hopefully we'll talk next week with victory formation.
Sounds good.
All right, Ted. Thank you for coming on, buddy. Well, John, we made it through our first show in
good
the
stuff.
month. Yeah. Yeah, good. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, I meant to talk about that. I brought it up jokingly, but the fire alarm went off at 6 o'clock this morning at the hotel for the Niners. I don't know if anyone saw that.
I'm already seeing the conspiracy theories are already running rampant on Twitter. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I'm sure.
It ran for 10 minutes. No one got evacuated. They shut it off. Everyone got back to bed. But there's still the fact of disrupting their sleep.
I heard they didn't even evacuate. They just let everyone stay in there because it was.
No one got evacuated. They just literally, it was just one of those things where they woke up, it went off, they shut it off, and that was it. So, but
sweet,
crazy stuff. Right. There's some Bill Belichick stuff.
How do people get a hold of you? And then we'll close it out and we'll bullshit afterwards for a minute.
No, it's the same thing across all the platforms. It's at Chairshot Sports on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Follow us up. Whether you like Niners, whether it's wrestling or betting as well, go ahead and hit us up. And yeah, because we're making content for you.
Alrighty. I am at Sports Talking It. You can find us on Driving to the Top on YouTube. Thank you all our guests for popping on tonight. And everybody have a good night. Let's go Niners. Let's roll this.